At first glance, the Yautja may seem like a tribal and primal species, adorned with a ritualistic armor and guarded by ancient codes of honor. Yet, beneath this veneer lies a civilization of staggering technological sophistication, their mastery of science and engineering seamlessly intertwining with their culture, creating a perfect synthesis of tradition and innovation, which serves only one purpose above all: the hunt. For thousands of years, as glimpsed in the flashbacks of Alien vs. Predator, their weaponry and spacecraft are seen to be terrifyingly advanced, even when compared to our modern age technology. But when you really think about it, how do these predators create their advanced tech, given that their whole society, every one of them, is devoted to the hunt? And so here in this video we will explore that in detail and come to a satisfactory answer or conclusion in the end. Let's get to it. The Predators, or the Yautja, started as another race in the beginning called the HQ-10, which literally means the people who take territory, and these were ancient ancestors of the modern-day ones. Long before they ever became the interstellar hunters which are feared across the galaxy, the HQ-10 were primitive and brutal, and they were governed by instincts and dominance rather than honor or discipline. They lived on Yautja Prime, their home world, when it was still a humid, swarm-covered world that teems with reptilian and insectoid life. According to the comics, the Predator homeworld, their ancestors were swarm-dwelling reptile-like creatures that crawled from the muck to form early proto-clans, which marks the first spark of the social structure that would later define their descendants. We know the clans and the code of honor. However, at this stage, they were far from being the apex predators they are now known. They were savage tribes that warred constantly over land, mates, and resources. Their fate changed when an advanced and tyrannical alien race known as the Amengi arrived on Yautja Prime. These were frail but intellectually and technologically superior species, and they wielded technology that the Hish could not comprehend. There, these Amengi saw the HQ-10 as a perfect slave species, ones that are strong, aggressive, and easily dominated through pain and control. For generations, the HQ-10 lived under the Amengi's heel, their natural savagery suppressed and redirected into serving their masters as laborers, soldiers, and even experimental subjects. One Hish later on, centuries afterwards, known in legend as Kale the First Hunter, rose to lead a bloody rebellion, and under his leadership, the enslaved Hish turned on their Amengi overlords, using their own strength and the stolen tools or technology of their masters against them. The uprising was thus savage and merciless and resulting in the near extermination of the Amengi species. So with their enemies vanquished, the Hish claimed the spoils of their rebellion, the technology of the Amengi. Over time they reverse-engineered and repurposed it, blending alien science with their natural affinity for hunting and combat. The result was the birth of a new species, the Yautja. They retained their feral instincts but tempered them with intelligence, engineering, and a growing sense of honor that replaced the chaotic savagery of their ancestors. As time passed by, the newly ascendant Yautja spread across Yautja Prime and across the stars. Their vessels became extensions of their culture. Their motherships, which are actually ships of the Amengi, were vast carriers that carry entire clans and serves as both homes and temples to their warrior creed. From these smaller scout ships launch expeditions to distant worlds, seeking prey that is worthy of the hunt. So as you can see, the Yautja never really developed their technology from scratch like us humans, but they were unfortunate enough to be enslaved and, in the bigger picture, fortunate enough to be enslaved and to rebel and attain the tech of their former masters, which then made their interstellar culture possible. But that was the past, the ancient past, thousands of years ago. And what about the current timeline? See, we first have to understand the Yautja and their mindset first, and then go to how they get their technology. Theirs is a society not built around invention, industry, or expansion, but around the eternal pursuit of the hunt. Every aspect of their civilization, from their social hierarchy to their spiritual beliefs, revolves around the act of hunting worthy prey. Unlike human civilizations that evolve through innovation, commerce, or scientific progress, the Yautja have no worker class, no scientists, and no concept of labor beyond the hunt itself. Their technology, while millennia ahead of humanity's, exists solely to serve the purpose of hunting that are crafted and maintained and refined by the same warriors who wield it. The Yautja thus do not innovate for comfort or curiosity. Their advancements are ritualistic, inherited, and perfected through generations rather than invented anew. Society is structured around clans, each functioning like a warrior brotherhood led by experienced elders who uphold the honor code. Every Yautja is a warrior from birth, trained to stalk, fight and kill. Those who are unfit to hunt find no purpose or place in Yautja society, as there is no artisan or civilian class to fall back on. To the Yautja, existence itself is defined by the hunt, the proving of strength, the taking of trophies and the pursuit of honor, making theirs a civilization of not of progress, but of perfected tradition. One of the biggest revelations about Predator history comes from the Aliens vs Predator War, which explains that the creation and the maintenance of Yautja weapons and technology are not done by the hunters themselves, but by members of maybe another ancient alien race or a slave species. The Hish and thus, including the Yautja, were never really inventors. Instead, they scavenged and stole technology from other alien races they encountered. This was evident with Machiko Noguchi stating her views regarding Predator technology in Aliens vs Predator War, that everything in clan culture was based around the hunt, their technology advanced enough to make piloting extremely simple, and the hunters did not waste time or energy in areas where there was no honor to be gained. And thus all of this means that the Yautja only focus on one thing and one thing only, which is the hunt, and therefore there has to be another entity or a slave race that creates all of this technology for them to use. And so this was finally explained in Predator Forever Midnight. Here the Amengi were encountered again, no longer as the masters of old, but now as the enslaved servants of the very species they once ruled over, the Predators. Remarkably, these Amengi are described as being happy in their captivity. Their obsession with technology and engineering overrides any desire for freedom, as long as they are given complex technical puzzles to solve and an endless supply of the honey-like substance they consume, and they remain perfectly content. Over generations they have become totally loyal to the Predators, seeing servitude as their purpose rather than a punishment. Still highly intelligent and inventive, the Amengi are thus responsible for maintaining and improving much of the Predators' advanced technology. They designed their creations to be very easy for even the least skilled hunters to operate, and this reflects both their ingenuity and the Predator's reliance on functional simplicity, which is seen across the board in movies, games, comics, etc. But then, despite their tribal and warrior culture, the Predators cannot be dismissed as simple brutes. Both in the comics and films, they are clearly shown to be highly intelligent beings, capable of understanding, repairing and innovating at times. They may not be scientists in the human sense, but their deep practical knowledge of engineering and biology is evident in how they adapt their tools for hunting. In Predator Badlands, for instance, Dek was shown crafting and modifying his weapons to face different enemies like the Sins and later his father and then the other members of his clan. In another instance in Predator 2018, their intelligence is taken even further as the Fugitive Predator and the Upgrade Predator reveal that some Yautja have begun experimenting with genetic engineering, using DNA from other species, including humans, to enhance their own. Similarly, in Predators of 2010, this movie introduces super predators who not only use advanced drones for reconnaissance but also genetically bred hunting hounds to assist them in hunts. These examples show that while they live by an ancient code of honor and tradition, they are far from primitive. Thus, our take on the Predators is that they are the evolved descendants of the ancient HQ-10 who are primitive species, but they both inherited both their ferocity and much of their technology from the old Amengi enslavement age or era. Most of the advanced Predator gear originates from that time, either created back then or later perfected by the enslaved Amengi, who still maintain and forge their weapons as of the current time. The Predators themselves are skilled enough to repair and modify their technology. Of course, there has to be some sort of formal education for the young ones to grow and learn, but that will probably be seen later on as the saga continues. But true innovation often comes from these enslaved engineers or from scavenging alien technology taken from during their hunts. Many of their weapons and tools are repurposed trophies from other civilizations built or rebuilt to match the Yautja style. However, as seen in the lore and in the movies and comics, not all Predators strictly follow the hunt, and here comes the deviation. Some hidden factions and rogue individuals, especially the Bad Bloods, reject the traditional code of honor and explore forbidden paths like genetic experimentation or hybridization, as seen with the Upgrade Predator and the Fugitive. Stories like Predator Badlands and Predator Killer of Killers show their world as a mix of medieval warrior culture and advanced science, which kind of resembles a techno-barbarian society where plasma cannons exist beside ritual blades, and starships are built by clans that live by tribal laws and houses built of bones. It's like an interstellar version of Mad Max, but more brutal and more alien, more chaotic, more honor-bound, and entirely devoted to the eternal art of the hunt. And so with the Bad Bloods here in the mix, there is kind of like a deviation that comes out from Predator society, which means there might be innovation, a change in society, and maybe the Predators becoming more advanced as time goes on. So that is what we think about who makes the weapons and technology of the Predators, and this is all based on research from the lore, which means comics, books, movies, etc. Now, do hit the like button for support, and also press that hype option for hyping up the video to other viewers. This is directed to the ones holding their phones in their hands. Also subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, fam.